I don't have any plan to develop a solo career or any kind of career outside of Weezer. I just happen to have all these recordings that I did on my own, and I really loved them, and it hurt me just having them in my house and having no one hear them. So I wanted to get them out. But I'm not touring to support the album. I'm not hiring any other musicians, and I'm very satisfied being in Weezer. Yeah, it's really impossible to pick one song that means the most to me. But for the purpose of conversation, I will pick one, and I will pick the song called Wanda from my demo collection. It's a very sad song filled with longing and something very innocent and childlike about it. But there's just such a deep sense of longing that moves me when I hear it still after 12 years. There's always a chance. Each time we make a record, I think it's open to anyone can bring any song from anywhere and suggest it. Hey, we should try this song. So it's a possibility that someone would say that. However, usually all four of us are most excited about our most recent compositions. And songs from 10 or 15 years ago, I think we would be less excited about. So it's very unlikely that any of these songs would end up on a Weezer record. I feel, now that I'm married and have a baby, I just feel very content and secure, and I guess I feel more brave and willing to take chances as an artist, because my personal life just feels so comfortable. My creative life can be very just full of risks, and so I feel more adventurous. At the same time, it's opened up a new world of topics to write about, because I don't have to write about, oh, I'm lonely anymore. I felt like I was writing the same relationship type songs over and over, so now that's done with. Those questions are answered, and I can move on to new subjects. I like how safe I feel here. Maybe it's because I'm a foreigner, and I don't see things that Japanese people would see here. But to me, it just seems like a place where nothing really all that bad can happen. Like there's no crime or terrorism or anything like that. So I just feel so safe and peaceful, and generally really quiet. You don't have people honking horns all the time. I feel like I'm in a library wherever I go. It's just everyone's really chill, even though there's a lot of people. It's not like that in America. What do I not like about Japan? Well, for a long time, I had a hard time with. I felt like people they weren't direct about what they wanted from me. Like they wouldn't tell me what they were really thinking. And it drove me crazy. I feel like, well, if you want me to go over there, just tell me to go over there. And but Japanese people are so courteous and polite. They don't want to offend anyone. It's just, it took me a while to get used to that style, because Americans aren't like that. Like, for example, with my wife and her family in Kumamoto, something I didn't like was they'd say like, well, you want to go with us to the bakery to pick up some bread? I'd say, okay. And then we'd get in the car, we'd start going to the bakery, and they'd all be talking in Japanese, I wouldn't understand. And then we'd end up at a drugstore.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd be like, okay. And they'd start talking again, we'd end up at a supermarket. And then after 2 hours, I'd be like, what's going on? I thought we're just going to be gone for 15 minutes to the bakery. And they wouldn't think to include me in those decisions. That drove me nuts. I don't know if that's a Japanese thing though. Might just be them. I love them though. I love them very much. No. I feel like Weezer's played too many festivals and it just doesn't seem like a fun, exciting, creative challenge. Next year, 2008, I want to just do our own headline shows here in Japan. And obviously it means we have to play for a much smaller audience, but we can have more control over the show and really make it something creative and mind-blowing.